Hey, everybody. I don't know if you're gonna be watching this on my IG page or the IGTV, and I've been kind of thinking about starting something else for myself. I've been thinking about starting a couple different things, or actually doing one certain thing. I've been thinking about it all this month, and I don't think it will go right with going into 2020 with that um, burden on me. So it'll be like, I don't know how much of this will play on IG, but then if you want, you could watch it on IGTV, and then I'm gonna try to put it on YouTube. So I want to like basically start my own YouTube channel, and I've been thinking about that before this month, but I just never did it. So here I go. This is going to be something very hard for me to get into because I have actually been dealing with this my whole entire life. So it's not something that just came about or whatever. This is something that I actually been dealing with my whole life. So I don't know if I'm gonna cry or anything. I hope though I don't because I really like, previously I really don't like talking about it, but it feels like the most I feel comfortable talking about it is when I'm at the hospital and I'm talking to my doctor. For some reason I feel the most comfort with him talking about my situation or whatever. And basically, I've been going to Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester, New York since I moved here when I was 1 years old. Um, and I was adopted from my birth mother's sister. She went through the process when I was, well, actually, before I was even born. She went through the process with my mom because my mom was at a state where she wasn't able to take care of me. And that's just what it is. So they had went through the process, they talked about it or whatever and stuff. And her sister went through the adoption process so that she could adopt me, which she did. She legally adopted me. And then I moved here, I guess when I was 1 or 2, but I'm guessing my mom said 1 years old. But on my birth certificate, I was born in the Bronx, New York, August 16th, 1984. When I was born, my mom, like I said, she was in a state where she wasn't able to take care of me. She was actually living in a abandoned house, who knows how long. Um, and she was actually taking care of herself. She was, I guess, doing very, very good or well for the most part, from what I've been told or whatever. She did travel back and forth after I was born back here to Rochester to come see me and my older sister. But when she lived in the Bronx, she was living in a kind of like abandoned apartment um, building. Um, and then when she did have me on August 16th or whatever, I don't know what time or whatever exactly right now. Um, she was, I guess, in this. She was doing drugs. So when I was born, I guess it was determined that it was drugs in my system. As an infant, I was a premature baby, so I was like as small as the palm of my hand, or like about that big or something. So basically, I was in the IC unit and in one of those premature cribs and all of that. And back then, 1984, it was the big epidemic where it came out. A lot of people in the Bronx, I guess mainly in New York City area or wherever, I guess they did a lot of drugs and stuff, and there was a big epidemic with the HIV and AIDS. So she was living up there. My sister was here in Rochester, and when I was born, they took me and they put me into a foster home for the time being until I ended up coming here when I was 1. Um, and my mom that raised me, she has a paper that I don't have with me now. It's a paper that it basically did say that when I was born, I had drugs and stuff in my system, and that I guess my mom wasn't suited and in a state to take care of me. So I don't know if they took her from me or she signed over her rights or whatever, because she was already gonna have my mom that raised me. She was already gonna have her adopt me and get me. So I don't really know like exactly all of that what happened once I was born. I just know that once I was born, they probably took care of me to get me to a certain stage where I could leave in the hospital as a baby, and then I went to foster care in the Bronx, New York, back in 1984. Um, so then I moved here when I was one, and I lived with my mom's sister, and she did very good by me. She made sure, because they told her to make sure I had what I need and I wanted. So it was mainly the things I needed to have, and then sometimes she got me stuff that extra stuff that I didn't need to have. Um, and I had siblings. I called them my siblings. I never called them anything different. And I actually never called my mom that raised me. I never called her anything different because she was all I knew growing up when I was little. I don't have no personal memories of my birth mother. Like I don't know what she sounded like or what she looked like. All I have proof of from that is pictures. So I love looking at the pictures or seeing new pictures because it makes me feel good, and it kind of makes me connect with her more. And then her birth, I mean, excuse me, my mom that raised me, she was there through everything. Because like when I was little, I was born with cerebral palsy, so it really affected my Achilles heels, and like I would walk on my tippy toes and stuff. I remember that for the most part. I remember that, and I had to get in. I had to get an operation. Probably I was under the age of 5, where they cut the back of my Achilles heel so that they could straighten out the tendon, and it straightened it out so that my feet could be flat with the floor. And once they did that, they wrapped them with some like cast on both of them. And then after that, I had braces. I had to wear braces for so long. I remember that too. I used to have all of that for a while, a long time when I was younger. But I don't have none of that stuff now. So I remember that. And as I got older, I had to deal with a lot of other stuff. Um, from being a premature baby and all of that stuff. From not headaches, excuse me, from having earaches to I think I had chicken pox, and let me see what else. Got my Achilles heel done. And then, I was one of them little skinny little kids. Like, I was really picky about what I liked to eat. So when I moved here, like, my mom, she would have to make certain stuff. She would have to make more than one option of food for me to eat because I was, like, really picky for a long time until I got to a certain age. Maybe, like, after 5 or something, I wasn't so picky with my food, I guess. I'm not, um, and then, like I said, I had to deal with a lot of stuff, lot of stuff growing up. And then it kind of got better as I got older, but I still was dealing with stuff, and I never felt like any other child or kid. I was very shy and sometimes antisociable with my family members. But not that was more when I was younger. I kind of was growing out of it as I got older, and sometimes I feel still be like that, but it's only because I be like putting up a wall because I be trying to protect myself from people because I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. So I don't know, it's hard, but I always push through. Um, like I said, my mom, she raised me for a long time, and at the age of 7, in 1991, I found out that my birth mom, had passed away. That's when I actually really found out that that was my birth mother. And we was sitting here in Rochester, New York, and I think we was living maybe Bernard Street or something like that. And it was like during the ice storm back then, 1991. And yeah, we was watching it on the TV because it was, it was like a big, big news special or whatever how you want to say. It was something big because it was like we had the ice storm going on here, and then it was on the news like it was like a little part of the news one night when it happened. And at the time, um, I don't know if my mom and them knew right away that that was her, but come to find out, she ended up passing away in the fire, in the Bronx, New York, with a few other people. I think it was the landlord that, or the person that owned the building, and some other people that was living in there because it was like a abandoned building back then in 1991. Um, yeah, and I was already here living with my mom that raised me. And I remember going to her funeral and stuff, but it wasn't a regular funeral because she got burnt in an apartment fire. So her body was burnt beyond recognition, and the only thing that they could identify was her thumbprint. So, you know, it was hard. I was little. I was 7. I didn't really understand what was going on, but then I did understand, and like, you know, I seen how it affected my older sister. I think she was really, it really tore her up. But I always love her, and I still love her to this day because that happening didn't have nothing to do with us. It was just, I guess, it was something that was gonna happen. So, we didn't have no control over that. Um, I'm not gonna lie and say that I don't wish that she would have moved back here permanently, but maybe she wasn't ready or whatever, or she felt more comfortable living in the Bronx still, after she had me. Because she had 3 kids. She had me. No, she had my older sister, me, and then we had a younger sister. But our younger sister ended up passing away too at the birth, or whatever. Um, and then, that happened in 91. So I was 7. And then, like, after that, I was good. My mom always made sure I was staying in school, and she made sure, I had clothes that I needed on my back, shoes on my feet, a roof over my head. She made sure I ate, went to the doctors whenever I needed to go to the doctors, because the whole time I been with her, I had been going to Strong Memorial Hospital, because I went to the pediatrics floor for a long time, and then now I'm on another floor, which is for where my primary doctor is now. So, Rochester, New York has a lot of good benefits that I remember throughout the years, for me, and that I've experienced. Um, and then, once my mom passed away in 97, it might have been like a while, like a few years after that. Let's see. That's 1991. I want to say I was in, I don't know if it was, I'm not going to say middle school. I probably was like, 5th or 6th, no, 4th or 5th grade. Um, for some reason, before all of that, before I get into that, it was crazy because one year I was at 30 school at this time. I know that, and we had end up, like, I think it was the end of the year, or no, it was before a vacation. I think it was before like the Christmas vacation or something like that, or it was at the end of the school year. It was something before a vacation, and we was all, it was like one of, when you at the end of the school year and the teachers have you clean out your your desk, and you get to watch movies and have popcorn, whatever, like treats and stuff, and y'all just basically doing nothing. So we end up watching a movie. They put a documentary on, and it was about a young boy. His name was Ryan White. I think I'm saying it right. And he was a young man that was dealing with different things of being a child, and going through having how he ended up coming about with him having HIV. So we was watching that, but at that time I didn't put two and two together. But I just felt like ever since that happened, it's connected me with. It was giving me. It was a sign, like telling me. But who would have knew then that that would have been something that I would have been like. So I don't know. Like now that I think about it today, it's like that was a sign to like kind of warn me, but not in a bad way, because I'm still here, obviously, and I want to continue that for as long as possible. Um, but that was like the sign beforehand, and then I think I want to say like a few years, like not even a few years, like maybe 1 or 2 years later, I had ended up getting pneumonia, and then I had thrash in my mouth, and like it was really bad. It was like all at the top of my mouth, and it wouldn't go away. And I think I might have shown my mom one day, or maybe I just was I don't know. I just guess I wasn't really feeling good, so that was another reason. And then I had that in my mouth at the top, and so we ended up going strong. They made us appointment. We came in, or we might have came in right away that day, or whenever she called them, and they had us come in right away. Um, I think ended up my mom and my sister, not my sister, excuse me. This is like so this kind of overwhelming doing this, but my mom and my aunt came to the hospital with me, or might have been just me and my mom, and then my aunt met us there after the fact, because that was a lot. Um, what we was finding out when we was sitting in that room, because they was they was examining me, and they was trying to figure out why I got the thrash in my mouth, and da, 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 da. And I think they end up swabbing my mouth or something, because I don't remember them taking any blood at that time. We was sitting in that room for like a long, it felt like forever. And then they end up coming back in there and telling my mom was already sitting down. I think I was sitting down. And then that's when they end up telling us, what was going on. And basically it was that I was HIV positive. But I think they didn't know. Well, I don't know. They probably knew, because my mom adopted me. So, before that day, I've never had any type of intercourse, sexual intercourse, or anything. Actually, I didn't start having sex until I moved out of my mom's house, and that was like 20. Shit, I probably was like 21, 22, 23. No, 21, 20, about 22 or 23. Yeah, because I didn't even go to the prom for high school. I didn't go to no type of proms or nothing. I had friends and stuff in school, throughout school, and whatever. I wasn't really like the popular one, but I had friends from elementary through high school. I had friends, people that I still like. Most of them I say hi to. If they speak to me, I say hi to them. And some of them I follow them on IG, because I'm not on Facebook, so I follow some of them on Instagram. Yeah, and we found out that day, and it was like my mom was like, I remember her crying, like she was crying so hard. I think she kind of felt defeated. Like it was, like a mom that felt like it wasn't nothing she can do. Like, like she felt sorry or, no, not really sorry, but sad. And, I was upset too. But the doctors made sure to reassure us that they was going to get me on a medicine like right away. Because back then they did have medicine. So this was back in like 1994, 5. I don't know if it was 96. I had to ask my doctor more. I don't know. But I know it was back then. So back then they did have medicine. And back then I had to take way more medicine than I have to do now. Like today I only got to take one pill and I take one pill a day. So I feel like that's a lot of progress for myself. And I've been taking the medicine ever since. I have to take it every day. And then in the beginning, I was going to the doctors every 3 months or even more often than that because every time I go, they would have to draw my blood and check my viral load with the white blood cells and the red blood cells to make sure that the viruses of the HIV was like, less than it's supposed to be or whatever. That's something I have to learn more because I kind of know, but I don't. But I know that now that I know that I've been undetectable for like 5+ years or so or more, I just know that's what I be wanting to hear, or that's what my doctor be telling me, and he always say that that's good. Um, Cause every time I go in, they draw my blood, and then that's what they're looking for to make sure it's staying undetectable, which means the viral load of that is sub down. It's not gone. It's just down. So that means my immune system is like not perfect, but basically almost perfect for the most part. Cause I really haven't had. I've never had the flu. I've had the normal stuff just like anybody else. I've had colds and seasonal allergies. Um, I got a lot of other stuff done too throughout the years. I've always mainly went to the dentist, got my teeth. I got a lot of teeth done, clean, whitened, and wisdom teeth taken out. I wish I never would have did that though. I don't know, cause there wasn't really nothing wrong with my teeth at that time when they wanted me to take them out. But yeah, so I've been dealing with that since basically birth. I've been dealing with that since birth, and as of today, I'm 35 years old. So I feel like I've done really good for myself. If my mom was here, God rest her soul, she might have been able to been taken care of too. Um, Mainly if she would have moved back to Rochester. But I know if she was not still living here but living in the Bronx, they would have. She could have got medical treatment there too. Because I don't think it was the I don't think it was the ending for her. I don't know. I don't think so. But like I was saying, I've been dealing with that since then, basically birth. But I didn't find out until I wasn't 7, so I probably was like a little bit after that, a few years after that. That's when I originally found out that I was born with HIV because my mom was doing drugs with me while she was pregnant with me. And back then in 1984 and around that time, when people did drugs, they shared needles and they didn't really have a lot of medical awareness then to only if you did maybe get your blood drawn, that was the only way you could know if you were dealing with having HIV. And then how it goes to AIDS is if you don't have it taken care of and you just basically go years and years and years without getting treated or tested or whatever, it turns into AIDS. And that's how you end up dying because it's just taking over your body and you're not getting medical treatment. And like I said, I've been taking my medicine. That one pill I gotta take, I've been taking that every day, basically every day. I'm not gonna say I haven't had days or years where I missed, but I've taken more pills than I missed. So, and like I said, I had right as of right now, I go to the doctors every 6 months to get like a primary or checkup or whatever, and I get my blood drawn to basically check my viral load of my HIV and see how I'm doing. And basically every time, as of right now, I've been undetectable, which my doctor says is really good, and he's really happy for me, and that's what he wants it, where he wants it to be. And then like through all of this, I never knew who my father was, so I don't really know who he is or where he's at or whatever. I don't know. It's a guy here in Rochester that's supposed to be my father, but we do not have communication with each other for his reason and my reason and whatever. So I just leave that at that. If it's meant for me to communicate with him, I will, but or he will communicate with me. But as of right now, we do not have no communication with each other. I do have the support of most of my family. I don't know if everybody supports me because everybody got an opinion about something. So this is why I'm doing this video, because going into 2020, I don't want no fake love or support from anybody. If you don't support me, or you feel like I've done this wrong, or whatever, just don't have no contact with me. Period. Point blank. I don't want no fake love from nobody, like even family or people that's supposed to be my friends. If you don't want to be my friend for whatever reason, let that be your answer. Let that be your case. Then that's fine with me. You could unfollow me on Instagram. Do what you gotta do. So that's how I feel going into 2020. I'm not dealing with no fake love from anybody. It don't matter who you is. That mean when you see me, just keep it moving. And if I'm not working with you and don't have to talk to you, then you don't gotta talk to me. Then I'll just that's how I know where we stand. Cause that's basically what I've been doing. Like for especially this year. This year I've been going through a lot of ups and downs. But I made it through being at this apartment a year. It's been over a year, which I'm really proud of that. Because the last few years before that, it was like up and down. I've always made sure to try to keep working, because that's all I know how to do since I got out of high school is work. I can't stop. I would love to one day be able to start working for myself, like independently, being my own boss. I just gotta figure that out, because sometimes it could be a lot stressful trying to work for somebody else, and I feel like lately people are not very appreciative. People are not very genuine, and why I don't want to work for somebody. If you like really got a problem with me, then I don't want to work for you. I'd rather figure out some way to work for myself in the long run. I'd rather do that. I just don't want no fake love from nobody. Like, you don't want to deal with me, and you don't have to deal with me. You don't have to talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't deal with me. Don't follow me. Don't do none of that. Because at the end of the day, as long as I'm on this earth and I'm doing what I got to do, I'm going to still do what I got to do for myself. I do have a lot of my family here. My family is very big. My grandma had a lot of kids when she was younger. So I do have a big family. Most of them is in the area where I'm at, and I love that. And the other ones that are not, I know where they're at, and most of them I know how to get to them or contact them if I need to be trying to contact them. And like one day I would love soon, I would love to be able to move out of state. But since the healthcare in New York State is like really good, compared to other states from what I'm hearing, as far as dealing with my part of me, my HIV. I don't want to say I feel like I'm stuck here, but then I feel like that sometimes. I feel like I'm stuck here. And I don't want to feel like that. Like, I know where my family at. And the crazy thing too is I never really traveled nowhere, so I don't know if that's kind of putting me would have a blocker up, or whatever how you want to say. I don't know. But I just would love to be in another state, somewhere where the wintertime is not cold and snow and whatever. But at the same time, I don't want to move somewhere where they got hurricanes, tornadoes, mudslides, none of that crazy stuff. I don't want to be nowhere in no state where none of that is. Um, yep, and like I don't have any kids at this point in time. It's just me and my dog Snow that I've had for like since 2014. I've had Snow, and he's been a major, major, major part of my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way because when I come home, he's always happy to see me. He always is there, and I make sure he got food and water, and I try to care for him. He's like my own little baby. He's not a real baby, but he a fur baby. So I love that he came into my life. I love that my best friend was able to find him for me on Facebook and refer me to the lady that and her family that ended up giving me Snow. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have him, so I just really appreciate that. And one day, I'm kind of hoping soon, like within this year, 2020 coming, that I could get him a little brother, because I don't like for him to be here by himself. I want him to have a little brother. But if it's meant for me to do that, it'll happen. I'm going to leave that in God's hand. Along with everything else, I'm going to leave it in God's hand. Because he's been by my side the whole time, since birth, basically. Because I didn't even have to be born or make it. I didn't even have to make it. Like, I don't know what made me make it and not my sister make it, It's just hard to like. And then like a few years ago, 2016, I had lost my mom ashes. It was in a storage unit along with other stuff. And in that storage unit, it was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of stuff in there. But mainly, like, the main thing that hurt me is losing her ashes. And I don't know if I'm more than likely probably never going to get them back. But I know she's in a good place. I know she don't got to suffer. But it's just hard. It's really hard. I never got to meet her, so it's just like I kind of felt connected to her having her ashes with me, because my mom gave them to me to have them. And I was doing so good for so long, and then when I had the chance, I don't know why I didn't take her ashes out of the storage unit, but I just felt like I felt like everything was gonna be okay there. I didn't feel like I was gonna be getting behind on no bill or anything, or I don't know. And I think about it all the time. It's just crazy. But then it kind of gave me some kind of peace when I be looking at her pictures, but not full peace, but it gave me peace because I know she not here anyway. It don't even really, it do matter, but it don't. It's like it's back and forth with that. So I don't know. And then I had a diary in there. I don't know if I said that already. I had a diary in there, and I had wrote a lot of stuff in there, a lot of personal stuff that I was feeling or whatever, or going through or whatever. I just like wrote in the diary. And I was doing that since a long time. Like, that wasn't even my first diary. I had like I might have had like 2 other ones before that. But yeah. I wrote a lot of stuff in there. You know, I've been going through a lot of different stuff. Shit. Trying to be in a relationship with somebody and then them knowing your status, but they still like after the fact they know it's still like it still don't make it no better for them, or they still want to hold stuff against you. You know, I don't know. It's just crazy. So I'm just like, but at this day today, I just like whoever I'm not dealing with or whoever I dealt with, I just wish you nothing but the best and just leave it at that. Especially if we don't ever have communication with each other again. I just want to leave it at that. I wish the best for you and your family, whatever else you got going on. That's where I'm just gonna leave it at. I'm not have not been perfect with that part of my life as far as trying to be in a relationship with a man. That has not been perfect on my part. Being able to talk about that. So I know I'm not perfect and nobody is perfect. And then sometimes I wrote about that stuff in my diary. So I don't know. I keep saying I don't know, but and then now I'm just trying to keep my head up and stay strong for myself. Whether I got a whole bunch of people with me or if I'm just by myself. Because I know I have to keep going. I'm not the weak-minded individual where I'm willing to, like, go through with taking my life. That's not me at all. I do have my days where I'm really might be sad, or I know in the past I've dealt with depression. And, like, at one point, I was even trying to get on prescription to take medicine, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I'd rather smoke weed than take pills for depression or whatever. But I feel like I've been doing way better because I'm back to working. It's not working as far as what I was doing because, 2 years ago or so, I worked in healthcare. And, I was doing that for a long time. Since 2005. So, I felt really good at doing that. I felt really proud of myself. And, I had my home health aide, my PCA. And at one point, since I had my high school diploma and I graduated in 2003 with my high school diploma, 2008, I had decided to get my CNA. And I have my CNA still, but I haven't used it in like 2 years or so. I haven't used it. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I do know how to work. It ain't what I want to work, the kind of work money I want to make, but I know that I have to work to provide for myself, period. Because I don't have nobody giving me no money or making sure that my rent or my RG&E or my cell phone or if I have clothes on my back or panties, tampons, tissue, soap, deodorant, toothpaste. Nobody's doing that for me now. I do that for myself. Once I left my mom's house, excuse me, I had to do all of that for myself. But she taught me how to do a lot of that. Like, I watched her. She explained to me about, like, paying rent with money orders and, like, all that type of stuff. So, I think I've learned a lot from her um, throughout the years of her raising me. And she was a very strong, independent woman, taking care of her kids and other cousins and family members. So she ain't just take care of me. She's like the woman that takes care of, like they be saying that expression with it takes a village to care for a child. She was that type of woman. Like she's always been that way. Always been that way. Even though she could be strict with her words, like when she say certain stuff or when you talking to her and she give her opinion about something, sometimes it could be kind of, you know, it hurt a little bit, but I don't think she always be doing it purposely. And I wouldn't have it no other way with her not being my mother and the lady who's raised me all these years previously, and I thank her a lot for that. And I just wanted to do this video. I don't know why. I just thought I'd get it out the way because I've been putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. I actually had wanted to do it on the December 1st, which is like, I think it's World AIDS Day, or I had wanted to do it on my mom's birthday, but I just, like, I've been a procrastinator. I've been like that since school. I be procrastinate with stuff a lot of times, even with paying my bills now. I don't, I be doing that, and I know I shouldn't do that, but it's a habit that I haven't broke. But going into 2020, I'm trying to work on a lot more stuff for myself, and doing these videos, since I really don't be having a lot of, or anybody really, I feel like some time to talk to in the evening. I might do more of these about different stuff. Because I realize now, I've been realizing, but it's just like, you deal with so much stuff, you always got a wall up, or you always trying to protect yourself. And like, even today, I still am like that. I put up a wall. When I'm not at work and I go out into the world, I put up my wall because I want to protect myself. There's a lot of people out here for motives that it ain't good motives, and they make you suspect, and or they want to try to act like they support you, or they, this, that, and the third, but they really don't, because their actions show you otherwise. So you just never know, and I don't need none of that, and I don't want nobody close to me that I love dearly. I don't want them to have to deal with that, but it's hard because you can't be everywhere for everybody. You only can do that for yourself. Or, if it's your family, you can only try to be there for your family at certain points. But like, when, say if you had a child in school, you can't be with them everywhere, but you want to protect them. Yeah. So I just wanted to do that and get that out the way. It's still gonna always be a part of me, but I try not to let it consume me. And maybe I can get to a point where I could start speaking in front of like people in person. Like, because I don't think they be educating these kids in school anymore like they used to back when I was in school. They had health class. And I'm like wondering, do they even have that now? Because it's like all these reports be coming out, studies and all this other stuff be coming about, all these different stuff and STDs, but do they be educating these kids like they supposed to, like they used to do when I was back in school? Even though back then when I was in school, I wasn't even having sex then. I wasn't even having sex. I was more worried about playing my game or going home watching TV, cable, what sneakers, what clothes I was about to get from the mall, what jewelry. That's all the kind of stuff I worried about when I was younger, and I wish I would have just kept doing that. I wish I would have never even got into trying to be in no relationship with a man, or trying to find the affection from a man to like make me feel better, but I don't know, maybe that's something that had to do with, not having a father in my life, like basically my whole life up until now. So maybe that got something to do with it. I don't know. More than likely, yeah. But like I said, I just wanted to do this video. And I've been feeling like I wanted to do it like way earlier. But like I said, I just been putting it off because like sometimes I don't be wanting to deal with stuff. And like I know I had to deal with it. And it's a part of me. And I'm still breathing. I'm still taking my medicine. I'm still trying to do what I gotta do. And I'm just gonna say fuck the haters or whoever don't like me or whatever I am. Oh well, because there's more of me out there. It's not just me. Yeah. So I've dealt with more than one thing than just that. Like, so at the end of the day, I can't be nobody else but me. So you take me as I am, or you leave me completely alone. Thank you.